and welcome to Wolf Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Knittin' Wolf.
Hi, and I'm James, also known as DH or Darling Husband.
Yep.
Or for those of you that play me on Words with Friends or what's that game?
Draw something.
Draw something. I'm Wolf Photo. So, hi.
That's Wolf with an E, Wolf Photo.
Yeah.
All lowercase. And this month's scent is Cucumber Melon. It's 25% off in the store, which is our soaps, lotions, bath salts, candles, until the end of March. And then we'll be having a new scent in April, which, did we decide that's going to be the rose?
I think we're going to do fresh cut roses for April, so you can order in time for Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, yeah. That's your mom's favorite.
Yep. So we'll be doing that starting in April. So you got a couple more weeks with the cucumber melon. So order now and look forward to fresh cut roses. So.
Yep. And I also want to mention Slip Stitch Studios is giving Wolf Farm listeners 10% off from now until April 21st with the code WolfFarms421. And that'll be in the show notes, and it's also in last week's episode. And she has bags, all different sizes. She has Swift bags, which I don't have one of those, and pattern keepers, and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
She's got a lot of stuff. She's Ven's with at the Cognitive Retreat. She's usually right next to us, so we always, she's got an assortment of items that you can check out. So.
Yeah. Yeah, her husband always goes vending with her too.
Yeah. So we're always side by side at the Cognitive Retreat. So So they have a whole lot of good stuff there. So go check them out.
Yeah. So in the Coop, this week in the Coop, I've been working. On my Spectra. And this is done on size 5 needles, and this is a Stephen West pattern. And I'm just going to show it from where my Dicky-Doo is, right over there. And I got into more of the oranges this week.
Yeah, I think it's neat how it fades from one color to the next.
Yeah, because it makes you want to keep, this is it fully opened. Yeah, Jimmy said he wished it was in more boy colors.
Looks like a butterfly wing the way it fades from one color to the next. So.
And this is done with Knit Picks Stroll is the black, and the chroma is Sunrise. And I bet you all can guess why I picked Sunrise. So, yeah, it hasn't been, because I first said it was really breaking me out, and it hasn't been doing that. Might have been the chocolate I was sneaking.
You know better.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's hard to not eat chocolate. So I love this pattern. I try to do at least 1 or 2 little wedges in the morning, and sometimes I'll go ahead and do one at night with all my mini projects. And then I have the Hitchhiker, and this is a knit along with Sock Bunny Knit and Fit podcast with Kimberly, and also with Apple Blossom and you, Sarah. And I didn't do too much on this week. I actually took this to Knit Night, so you can see my marker there. So it's about an 2-inch, 1.5 inches. She's busy talking. This is done on size 3. That's all tangled up. On my project page, I call it Vampire Hitchhiker, I think. But it's fun. You can pretty much talk and knit at the same time.
An easy knit. Huh?
Yeah. Although a lot of them at knit night ended up playing the draw something. We're all sitting there trying to guess. It's a bad addiction.
Distraction.
Yeah. And this is a, what is the designer's name? Martina Bem. It's the Hitchhiker. That's a really bad picture. I did it in black and white so I could fold it up tiny. So, and that has the very weird. See, I can't even find my tag now. It's it's in German. How many years did you take German? There we go.
Oh, you're gonna put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Handgefarbt.com. It's hand colored in German. That's what it means. So.
Wow. Pretty good by putting him on the spot.
I guess 5 years of German pays off when it comes to knitting. So.
And that's 579 yards. So this is going to be a huge. I don't know if you can focus.
Yeah, it's not showing up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do it this way. Well, it'll be in the show notes. So.
Yep. Or on my project page. But yeah, that's a pretty fun knit. And I loved the colors. When this was in the skein, it was like, I have no idea what to do with that. But once I was going through winding up some yarn, and it was like, ooh. So, and then I think I only have one more in the coop. Because I had stuff fly the coop this week. And I started this last night doing a virtual knit night. And this is done on size 2 circulars I'm magic looping. And it's a preemie hat. I'm trying to see if it's focusing or not. Can't tell. I think we're still...
We made some adjustments on the camera trying to get the...
Yeah, we're playing. So this is the Spinning Fates, and it's the leftovers from the candy corn colorway. And I thought that'd make such a cute little preemie hat.
Yeah.
And this is with the Remembering Remy knit along with, there's a Remembering Remy group, that's a tongue twister, group on Ravelry with TBM McCarthy. And she's doing it with Jay Peled, the Knitting Brooklyn podcast. And they're doing it for 95 days because that's how long Remy was in the hospital alive. So wanted to get that started. And so, yeah. That was a perfect, project to knit on during the virtual knit night stuff. So what's in your coop? No, I do have one more. Sorry, I'll just interrupt you.
That's quite all right. I didn't get started yet. So.
And this is a medium-sized slip stitch studio bag. James and Jimmy actually got this for my birthday last year. It's got some little red hens. And I dug this out because there it goes, scooching that chair. This is my Scrappy Happy Blanket. And I think I've only shown it on the podcast once. And I do this with Knit Picks size 2 needles. And I actually did 2 squares this week. I did, what was that? What's the train?
Hogwarts Express?
Christmas train.
Oh, Polar Express.
Polar Express. This is my Polar Express yarn. And then... this is a freckle face. So I did 2 squares because this thing is huge. This is... and it's so much fun. It's because you don't want to stop. And there's this side. It's folded up because it is heavy. So, yeah, this is my never ending. I just do it every now and then. And
well, you always have yarn scraps, so
yeah,
you just put it in the pile and...
Yeah, and see, my pile had gotten really big because I went and organized it because my scraps were kind of just getting all over. Mm-hmm. And some of you who are loopy groupies got the big plastic loopy groupie bag. It is packed to the gills. And I thought, whoa, I need to...
get back to doing your squares.
Yeah.
Well, it's a quick knit too, and you can, do little
yeah,
sections at a time, and it's like you're completing a
ooh,
mini.
I got something done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that gets pulled out every now and then. I was mentioning it to Shanda. She goes, "You're doing one of those? I've never seen it."
You just got to keep it by your chair.
Yeah. Now
My turn. Well, I don't knit. I just have a lot of projects around the farm.
You don't know how to knit.
Well, I know how to knit. I just usually don't have a lot of time because I'm keeping other things going. So, what's in my coop is basically we're doing another section of solar. We're trying to be a little more self-sufficient, in terms of what we use here on the farm. And so this is a little sample of a solar cell. This is what makes up the solar panels that we're putting in. And it's just amazing that something like this will produce power for 30 years, where they don't have to, use other means of generating electricity and stuff. So it's really good for the environment to go solar. And right now, the addition that we're putting in should produce about 2/3 of the power we use. So really working towards that. Anxious to add some more on there and help the environment, and cuts down on our electric costs over time. So the other thing is kind of wool farm related is that I'm working on coming out with some new soap scents. So we're coming out with a green apple, watermelon, cantaloupe, and raspberry, and so I'll be making those this weekend, and they should be in the shop probably in about 3 weeks. So look forward to those. So that's kind of what's in my coop. So
those are some really good summery scents. So, and my favorite scent ever is watermelon, and we've never done watermelon.
Yeah,
we've done cucumber melon, but
yeah. So this will be watermelon for you and anybody else out there that likes watermelon. And on the watermelon line, we're actually going to start doing lip balm, and so we've got the stuff to do that, and hopefully we'll be showing that on the podcast here in the next week or two. So adding and expanding our product line. So,
I want the watermelon and lotion too. That's and a candle.
Yeah. Well, basically. So yeah. So look for that. That's basically I'm the one that gets to make all of the good stuff that's in our shop. Don helps, but. I'm usually the keeping up with the demand. So, so
we do it together.
Yeah, we do it together.
Yeah. So, flown the coop. I have 2 things this week. Finally, you guys are probably sick of seeing this, is the stripe study. And this thing is huge, and I didn't measure it. That's just a portion. I think it's a good 6 feet at least.
Yeah,
it is. It's probably longer than that.
Yeah, it's more than 6 feet.
More than 6 feet, and probably a good 4.
Yeah, it's probably about 3 feet. 3 feet long and 6 feet wide. So.
And this was done with my freckle face yarn that she dyes especially for the cognitive retreats. So it was so cool that, because I haven't done anything with it, that I was able to use both of them for a project. So yeah, they were excited I need to take this to Knit Night because they were excited because I was telling them about it, and what a great idea to.
Yeah, well, those colors go well together.
Yeah, because even in the purple, there's like splotches of the green.
Nice.
And it's pretty cool because it's, 2 separate years.
Two different years, and they still tie together. So.
Yeah, and I'm hoping she'll die for this year's cognitive retreat because we'll be vending at that again. So that was good because I wanted to use up a lot, well, except to have just a little bit for my scrappy blanket, but. Yep, and this was Vera Valimaki and size 5 needles, I think. Kind of forgot. I was just worried about the needles breaking.
Oh, because of the weight?
Yeah, because it was heavy. That'll be a nice warm. So just wrap it around here. And then, part of it is in my to market because I bought something in order to do this flown the coop. It's a pear washcloth. That's actually showing up good there.
Yeah.
I haven't blocked it yet because the pattern comes with 8. Actually 9. It comes with 9 patterns, and it's by Kristen Pate, and this is called the Fruit Cloth. And you get all these patterns. And I was trying to think of something to make for my grandma's birthday. That's at the April 3rd. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because I've made her shawls and stuff, and I thought, geez, what am I? I'm like, she's hard. And so I thought, well, she likes fruit a lot. Food, any food. So I'm going to, knit her 3 or 4 of these, and I'm going to do a whole little basket and then put like whatever fruit, like this is a pear. So I'm going to put real fruit with it, pears, and then I'm going to do some of our soaps and lotions that's fruity. So it'll be like a whole fruit set. But these are like 5.5 by 5.5 inch square, and I used sugar and cream, just a green that I had, and size 3 needles, which that was kind of different. Usually my washcloths I knit on size 7, and I even taught you on a size 7. So a size 3 was kind of
Really
different.
tight.
Yeah,
really
but
tight.
it shows up the pattern of the pear better.
Yeah, that makes sense, because then you don't have the holes from the bigger needles.
So I'll block these when I get more of them made, but I thought, oh, that'll be a nice gift. And
that's a nice pattern.
Mm-hmm. And she has tons of these. She has a spring one, winter one, Halloween one, so many. Dessert one, because I was tempted to get the dessert one for my grandma, and it was like, oh man. But yeah, I might do the fruit ones for your mom too, because I think she would like that, because I think her kitchen was fruit.
Yeah.
So, and I'd heard about these on the Tangled Knits podcast. She was mentioning it. And also Sock Bunny has been gifted or has bought some of these. And I thought, so you guys got that. You enabled me. But it was good because I needed something. And they'll be quick to get done for her. So I was excited about that. So, we got to market. Do you have anything flown your coop? I guess I should ask you.
Flown the coop, not yet. Probably next week you'll hear about it, but I'm always got something going on, but always a dozen.
I guess
projects.
our real chickens and roosters almost have been flying the coop. It's been so windy and stormy here.
Yeah, here you might tell I get some sun. Last weekend it was 80 degrees, and then this weekend they were calling for snow. So, I mean, we get some pretty wide swings in weather where we're at, so pretty crazy.
Yep.
So,
to market. I'm trying to read the show notes. Okay. I got from Slip Stitch Studios, and she's also having the 10%. I mentioned this last week. She's made these needle keepers, and I'm going to take her little card out. And of course this, let me turn it, the chicken's over right. It matches the set that James and Jimmy got me last year, so I thought, oh, I had to get it. Even though I'm having one specially made. I saw her list up the chicken, I had to have it. She's got these snaps, and my goodness, are they in here good. I was kind of worried about that. She has got these sewed in so good. And it's super thick and padded. And I put all my needles down. You put your double points in here with your project, and I wanted it especially for my signatures because they're so pointy. And then once your project is in here, you snap. I guess I can show you all the snaps first. You snap these together, and your needles aren't going to poke into your bag. Your projects are not going to fall off the needles because they're secured in here.
yeah.
So,
pretty,
you know, when
pretty ingenious to
Yeah.
come up with something like that.
she was telling me about this last cognitive. And, you know, so, you know, that is just cool because when you have your project stuffed into your bags and you go to pull it out, you know, sometimes they fall off
You
the
know,
needles.
drop
and-
stitches or it gets stabbed by your signatures.
Yeah, see, that's what I get. They come
Yeah.
right through them bags. She also has a zippered little pouch on the back. So you can put your notions, you know, little stitch markers or, you know, whatever you want to stick in there. You know, it's a pretty roomy.
Yeah.
And I like how I had it left out so I could easily grab it. But she has it where it's concealed. So you don't
Tuck
even
it
know.
away.
Yeah, tucked away. So I am really excited about this. See, now I can go use it because Jimmy thought, oh, that's really cool because I was showing him how to use it. And she sends her little button, and here's her card. She slipped, there we go, yay. She slip stitch studio etsy.com.
Yeah.
But,
That's right. She carries. They have a bunch of buttons too. That's
yeah,
another
buttons.
thing they use.
Yeah. She carries a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty cool.
yeah, I'm really excited about that. Plus it matches. Yes, I'm matchy. What else? I bought the fruit cloth patterns. And then I got some fiber. I didn't buy this. I had won a contest on Left Side Knits podcast for $25 to twistedfiberart.com. And I kind of had a hard time. It was a $25 code that I got for winning the contest. And I kind of had a little bit of hard time finding what I wanted because they were kind of high and the yardage is low.
Yeah.
So I found the fiber and I thought, oh cool, I can spin it myself. And so this is colorway is Minstrel. It's the design of her dye job is Evolution. And it's in the Lively Roving, which is 100% superwash merino, and it's 4 ounces. See, I put it low where I can see, and then,
There you go.
but yeah, this can see all the beautiful colors. There's kind of like a burgundy, a goldenrod yellow, an olive.
Real fall colors.
Yeah, there's some orange. You picked this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there were so many colors. I'm like, I can't choose. I like this one. I like this one. Jimmy actually picked the colors of the sample. She sent me a sample of the Tasty Base in the Warlock colorway. And Jimmy really liked this one. Because it's the purple and the black and the gray. But I already have my wish shawl is done in these colors. So I go, no, I don't want that.
Got to do something different.
Yeah. So I finally made him. I go, go choose. I go, I cannot choose. And it's,
Decisions.
yeah, me and decisions don't go together. But yeah, it's pretty
it's
soft and
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. And it was cool on their packaging. On the outside by the label, you know, the postage, they put this cute little heart made out of their yarn. And I thought that is a very cute, nice touch. I like to see, you know,
Yeah. The extra
that little
touch
extra.
that they put in. So.
Yeah. So this will go into my scrappy happy blanket. And it is super. This is the cashmere base one.
Oh yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
soft.
And when Jimmy felt, he says, oh man, why didn't you order that? I'm like, because it was really high. You know, because you would need 2 skeins really to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, they were a little pricey. So.
Yeah. So, and then I got from CJ Kopek Creations. This is his. I bought this for his birthday, and it's Superwash BFL, and it's called Dr. Jones. And someone happens to like Indiana Jones just a wee
Yeah,
bit.
I like that series. That's good.
This is 4.4 ounces, and it's cjkopekcreations.etsy. And it is just stunning. It's cream and teal.
It'll be interesting
Orange.
to see how that spins up when you start to spin it.
Yeah, brown. I mean, it's just so beautiful. And when I bought it, I plurked about it, and Lindsay, she goes, "You enabled me." She immediately went over and bought it too. So,
Nice.
Like your
See,
birthday?
yeah. See, any excuse to buy fiber or yarn, huh?
so I have to spin that and make you a hat, or
Yeah.
you'd wear a hat. So, and we're going to be having a spin along next month because a couple of listeners have mentioned it, and then especially when Lindsay and I both got this colorway and stuff, you know, it's like, ooh, let's have a spin along.
Yeah.
And I go, well, that'll get me to make sure I do it.
Yeah.
Because I've been really
Put you in
trying
a task
to.
and you
Yeah.
have to move forward with that. So.
Yeah, I've been trying to do at least 15 minutes of spinning a day. I didn't bring it over. I'm still doing the red fish. That's super bright, eye-shocking hot pink. And I'm trying to get it so thin. I'm really taking my time. Boy, I could really hear the drawl in that. And so, yeah, I did about an ounce this week. So, but I'm just trying to take my time. And I'm going to two-ply that. And thinking on doing the boneyard shawl if I get enough yardage. The Stephen West pattern. So, I'm excited about that. But I need to get that off the wheel so I can
Start
start
with the
the
next.
other for April. And then another thing that I got to market, which I forgot to put on the show notes, is a teeny tiny mochi book. And I've been wanting this for a long time. In fact, at Vogue Knitting, I actually talked with the author, which is Anna Rakovic. Anna. And she has a whole huge display, a good 5 foot, 6 foot display of all of these, you know, but she has it designed into a whole little city, and I kick myself because I could have bought the book there and she could have signed it. And I even sat there and talked to her, and it's like, but you can guess which one I got it for.
Gotta do the gnome.
I gotta do the gnome. And then I saw there's a little pear, and I thought that might be cute to knit up with the
put
fruit.
in with your
yeah.
washcloths.
Yeah, but they're adorable and they're teeny. And one of the really cool things is in the back, she shows what you can do with them.
Oh.
Like, you can make earrings, you can make, you know, little, what was the other one? Bracelet, little keychains, you know, magnets. You can tie them on gifts. You know, there's the little magnets. You can tie them on gifts to make it just a little extra special. You can get trees and do, you know, one of the little trees and make it like a seasonal. So you could do like little doodads for that. Yeah, Jimmy liked the reindeer, but he called it a squirrel. That shows the pattern too much. Yeah, here's a picture of the reindeer. He says they look like little
They do look like
hamstery
little
squirrels. He goes, I want you to make me a hamster deer. But I just think they're really cute. I'll let you know when I do one. I was going to start one the other day because I'm like wanting to start everything. So, yeah.
The hazard of having too much new stuff. You're anxious to.
Yeah. Oh, I got to go start that. Ooh, I got to go start that. But, yeah. And I got it on Amazon, and I went through Knittin' on the Fly's website because She has an ad on her knittingonthefly.com, and she gets a portion of, if you go through her website, to Amazon.
She gets a refer payment for that,
Yeah,
because she's because of the referrals. So.
Yeah, so, because I just usually type A and it goes straight to Amazon, so I thought, oh, I need to go through Knitting on the Fly, so.
Yeah. They end up spending the same amount anyways.
Yeah,
at least
she
gets some benefit
Yeah,
from
she
that.
gets something from it, so I thought that was pretty cool. So, to market for you.
Oh, well, yeah.
Birthday boy.
Yeah, it was my birthday last Monday, but out here on the farm, I've been, I do a lot of work around here, and so I keep an eye out for equipment that might help make my life easier, and I spend a lot of time on Craigslist, so happened to come across a piece of equipment for doing putting in pipeline in the ground, because we have I need to run piping for the watering the trees and lawns and that sort of thing, and saw this what's known as a trencher on Craigslist, and I went up Friday and took a drive up, and like I said, the price was perfect for what I needed, and like I said, it's a new toy for me. So I've been out working on it as much as the weather would allow me this weekend to go and kind of get it all set up and start digging trenches to put in pipelines out around the farm. So so that was like my birthday present, to myself, and from money that Dawn gave me and we got from other family members. So I'll have to post up a picture on the video so you know what I'm talking about. But basically it's
Yeah, because this you actually sit on and ride.
It's something I can't hold up and show you on it's actually our driving machine. So I'll throw up a picture here and you can see what it looks like. And then, like I said, I do on the weekends I go garage selling, and just see what I can't live without, and supplement my garage tools and that sort of thing. And I came across the service cart that I use. I could put my tools on when I'm working on, and I actually put it into to work this weekend, working on the trencher to get that all serviced and ready for use. So I got that, and I got Jimmy a pair of gloves and stuff. So like I said, it was a good weekend, even though it was raining.
A blanket.
I got Randy a new blanket too.
Because I told him start getting blankets because he tears them up. But Randy's the pig, our Vietnamese potbelly pig, and he likes to burrow under blankets. Well, he's kind of torn up a lot of his blankets. I go, look for. I don't care what they are. Just bring home blankets. Yeah,
and he'll actually grab them out of his little barn and start running around the backyard with them. It's hilarious. Gets all
hinky.
Yeah, he gets all spazzed out, and you see him running around in circles with the blanket in his mouth, and so they don't last too long. So
yeah, hear him snorting, and
he's quite humorous. So
yeah, he's an adventure. Well, you got studio lighting equipment.
Oh yeah, I got some
photography.
Photography is my favorite hobby, and so. I came across some photo equipment too while I was out this weekend. So yeah, that's one of the things that we're considering doing on the podcast here is adding like a photo segment, so that if you guys have, so I can give you tips on how to take better pictures, and things to consider when you're taking pictures to make your knitting look better as you're trying to capture it and put it up on the Ravelry or wherever you want to show it. Try and give you some tips that'll help you out to do better job of lighting or display or that sort of thing. So if you can give us some feedback in terms of if that sounds good, if you're interested in seeing that, or if you have any questions specific to photography that I could probably answer and maybe help you out with that. So that's a new segment that we're gonna considering putting on the podcast here. So let us know what you think.
You've taken photography since high school.
Yeah, well, even before that, I've always had a camera in my hand since I was a kid, and so I've taken photo classes through high school. I've done college photo classes. I have my own dark room, and I have way too much photo equipment, more than anyone should be allowed to have. It's kind of like it's like knitting stash. I have camera stash, so But so I that's my pastime. If I wasn't doing the work I did now, I'd probably be a photographer. So.
Well, you have done paid photography jobs too.
Yeah, so
You didn't like the wedding.
Yeah, I don't like wedding, but anyway, so consider that if there's something you would like to hear about tips wise, or just give us feedback if that's something that you'd like to see on the podcast. Let us know. So back to you.
No, you were on a roll. Got you going. Squeal like a pig. This week we both have something that made us squeal like a pig. Desert Vista Dye Works, which is Susan. She had a contest and I won the, design your, or was it the design or was it, shoot, Susan, now I can't remember. Or was it because of the knit along?
It was at a contest that allowed that whoever won would design a colorway for you.
But it might have been the knit along.
Oh, I don't remember how that happens. So.
And this is 75% wool, 25% nylon, and it's 462 yards superwash. And I had her design self-striping yarn from the Wolf Farm logo. So this is her creation. And she said she was so nervous because she's never done where the stripes have numerous, she's got it tied on here. She actually knitted, I didn't do this, she actually knitted a swatch so she could see what was going on with the yarn. So you see the tannish color fading into the blue. She didn't want direct stripes, so you have a dark green stripe, but then you have like a variegated, and then burgundy fading into the yellow, and then back to green, it looks like.
Yeah, that's an awesome colorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely hit it right on the money with the colors.
I mean, it is just awesome. And I've asked her if this was just a one of a kind, and she said she did write everything down and that she's going to let me know more later on, because I told her I definitely need another skein because these are his socks.
Yeah.
But then I need a pair,
So you got matching socks.
Matching socks.
Yeah. And Wolf Farm colorway.
Yep. So when we're vending, we can have our... Because we wear matching Wolf Farm shirts when we vend it, different things. So, and this is her card. And her yarn is awesome. She's at desertvistadyeworks.artfire.com. Yep. I should know that since I go there all the time.
And it'll be in show notes.
Yep. And then, was that all? Oh, so I'm on the
That's
wrong thing. And another thing that made me squeal this week is one of my friends twittered about Hunger Games nail polish. I'm sure you all could hear the squeeze. And I went to the beauty supply shop, and it was hard to decide. But I only got one, and it's China Glaze. And this is for Kim of the Craft Stash podcast. She has a whole nail segment.
Oh.
So I thought, I have to tell her what I squealed about. It's China Glaze in the Dress Me Up colorway. You can tell I do too much yarning. But yeah, that was so cool. But they have tons of, and I'm a sucker for the name. It's the name.
Yeah. Decisions, you don't do good when you have a
Jimmy, help me pick.
whole wall full of different colors.
And the Knit Pearl girl had told me about this Sec Vite. It's a dry fast top coat, which all I've got to say is this stuff is so phenomenal. Within seconds, your nails are like totally dry, and they feel like glass.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm so rough around here doing chores with the animals and stuff, see, I got pretties this week.
Yeah. And you don't have to wait so long, huh?
Yeah, because I'm too impatient. You cannot knit when your fingernails are drying. See, that's why I usually do my toes, because I don't knit that often with my toes.
That'd be a whole segment unto itself, huh?
Yeah. See, I should do that. How to knit with your toes.
Oh, yeah.
With all these projects, I really need to learn how to do that.
Multitasking.
Multitasking.
Yeah. Can you follow 2 patterns at the same time, though?
I know, huh? What's that,
You
where you pat your stomach?
Yeah.
And
No, you have to do the same pattern. It's for socks. So you do one pair with your feet, one pair with your hands. You get both pairs done at the same time. So
Hey, that'd be pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
figure that one out.
Yeah, awesome. So, yours was the yarn too.
Yeah, that was my Squeal Like a Pig.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like I said,
Yeah.
I follow colors because of the photography. I'm always, that's my mindset. Is always trying to pair up or contrast colors, and so I think, it's amazing how accurate she did with the dye job on that. So
It's such bright, and I mean, it is just like our logo. Mm-hmm. It's like, woo. And I know a bunch of people, Susan, have said, want.
Susan, I'd be really impressed if she gets this knit and it says Wolf Farms across the top. That would be amazing.
Yeah, your new project.
Figure out how to dye that one. So
I wonder if you could, like on us.
you'd have to dye it after you knitted it up. So. Yeah.
So, in the arena, I want to mention the Fat Squirrel Speaks podcast. And it's a video podcast with Amy Beth. She's Fat Squirrel on Ravelry Plurk. I don't know if she's on Twitter. I can't remember. I don't know. But she is flippin' hilarious. she's a redhead too. Go red. And oh my gosh, I just love her. She is if you guys like humor, you have to like humor or you wouldn't be watching us most of the time. Go give her a listen, and then she's got great projects she shows, and she's a hoot. She's one I'm sitting there dying laughing, and she said this last pot, she has 3 episodes, she's on iTunes too, and she needs to get a Ravelry group. I don't think she has a Ravelry group yet. So Amy Beth. And now I don't even know what I was saying. I got to jabbering.
You're talking about
she was saying her last episode was crazy. It's like it's a joy to watch, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
And then I also want to thank Jenna from the Retro Lemon Studio podcast for her wonderful review on the Wolf Farm products she did last week.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really, really, really nice, everything she said. And so, yeah, I just want a big thank you, Jenna. So, what the duck?
What the duck?
What the duck? We have the Yarn Crawl LA coming up April 12th through the 15th. And the store hours vary. This information's in the Ravelry group. And it's from here in the Antelope Valley all the way down to Long Beach. And the stores will have discounts. They'll have prizes, raffles, learning new things. There'll probably be demonstrations going on, and it sounds like a lot of fun. And it's the first time ever. And
well, it'd be nice because it's covers a big area of Southern California, so it doesn't matter where. If you're in the Southern California area, you can always go support your local yarn store or hit up a couple of them across.
yeah,
Try and go visit a new one that you haven't been to yet. Any excuse to feel the yarn. I know how that goes.
So we already mentioned the new segment that we might be starting on the photography.
Yeah. So like I said, just let us know if there's anything that interests you, or if you want to hear about that stuff, let us know. And if you really couldn't care less, then I don't know.
Just give us some feedback.
Yeah. Just let us know what you're thinking. So.
Yeah. Because that's always so much fun in the threads and stuff to hear what you thought of things, and it makes this interactive that we're not sitting here staring at a camera. Although we're really just staring at ourselves, talking to ourselves. So round up. We still have the Hatch and Knit knit whatever you want. It does not matter. You know, there's no set, you have to knit this shawl. A lot of people have been entering and posting up their pictures, and it just makes my queue get bigger and bigger. So I'm like, oh, I must knit that.
Well, and it's nice because you're not locked into doing one specific thing. You know, at least you're actively knitting whatever, and you can, you know, just enter that in. So that way, you know, you're not feeling like you're overloaded with a bunch of extra projects in order to participate. So.
And if they're doing another knit along with another group, they can just enter it in. It doesn't matter if you've double, triple, you know, whatever.
As long as you got the needles going.
Yep.
So.
Fire them up. And please tag your projects with Wolf Farms HAK March. And we'll be doing a different one of those each month. And also, I'll be putting up info about the spin along in April coming up. You know, that's, you know, spindles, wheel spinning, you know, however.
Drop spindle, you know,
So, however you want to spin it.
However you turn your fiber into.
What's that Hanson mini spinner, the electric one?
Oh yeah, they have the battery operator electric spinner where you don't the little portable things you can take on the plane and.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah. So.
So I think that about wraps it up for this episode.
Yeah.
So until next time.
Let's get cracking.
And hatch a knit. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
y'all.